And today my adventure will begin right here in the small South Carolina town known as Chesnee. That is a beautiful mural. I really like it. Love the colors. I love how it has a little bit of their history kind of sprinkled throughout each letter. That is really cool. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitch Hiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's going to be quite a little adventure to this little town. It is beautiful. I drove in. It did not look the way I was expecting it to. We're going to dive into the numbers today. Some of the numbers of this town may shock you because I'm going to show you what the town looks like today. All the storefronts and stuff. Talk about the history. But then I'm going to show you some numbers that might go, wow. You might go, wow, that kind of blows my mind. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. But we're going to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the founding in the early era of this town. So in the early 1900s, the Carolina, the Clinchfield, and the Ohio Railroad planned a route through what was then rural northeastern Spartanburg County. Businessman John B. Cleveland of Spartanburg formed the Chesnee Land Company to buy land along the line. Cleveland named the community Chesnee in honor of his great-grandmother, Margaret Chesnee, who was born in Scotland. The Clinchfield Railroad ran an excursion train over the tracks in 1909, bringing the attention and access to this very area. So once the train tracks were laid and people gained access to this area, a post office was established in 1910, and Chesnee was officially chartered as a town in 1911. The Chesnee Cotton Mill and Lumber Mill provided jobs and helped attract residents. Other early businesses, including hotels and pharmacies, giving the town a self-sufficient economic base for its first few decades. And I had to stop and check out this wall mural right here. It's called the Bantam Chef 50-style restaurant. Shakes, burgers, fries, breakfast, vegetable plates. They got a drive-through and they've been in business since 1964. Well, I definitely want to stop by there and see that place before I leave. Even if I don't get anything to eat, I still like to go check out a place like that. As I walk down this sidewalk, I want to continue talking about the industrial and community life. The cotton and lumber mills anchor Chesnee's economy for much of the 20th century, typical of small upstate South Carolina towns that grew with rail service and textile manufacturing. Over time, the textile industry patterns changed across the region. And in the late 1900s, Chesnee, like many small mill towns, faced economic shifts and population changes. Recent accounts note ongoing efforts to adapt and preserve community character. You know, I've always been a fan of murals. And there's some murals that just speaks to you more than others. Like it just hits checks all the boxes off, if you will. Look at this one. Check this out. It's got the ocean, beach, which I love. It's got palm trees. I love palm trees. It's got sunshine. But look what else it's got. I don't know why, but there's ice cream cones floating around this tree. I don't know what's up, but I mean, this is me right here. This is me. This is just a younger version of the hitchhiking Yeti right there. Look at that happy face. Ice cream. Even the sailboat cruising by has an ice cream cone on it. I was fixing to say, I was wondering if the kite had any ice cream attached to it, but no, it does not. But yeah, right there's the message. I love it. I love ice cream. Yeah, don't everybody? And speaking of awesome murals, look at this beautiful Pepsi mural right here on the side of this building. Support small shop local, Chesnee, South Carolina. I love that. That is so awesome and colorful, beautiful, nice. And right here is just a front fascia of some of the local businesses here in the downtown area. Tony's Sandwich Company. Go in there and grab you a sandwich and got all kind of subs. And right here in the downtown area here in Chesnee is a store that's been around since 1944. operated by the same family for all those years. Matter of fact, I just talked to the owner, and his family, they built this, his dad and them, they all built this building. He used to actually live here in the upstairs. He don't know more, but back in the day they did. He's been here running this place for 60 years of his life. But I think it looks awesome. I love this red dot ABC store right here. The sign up there, it is so cool, really awesome. And he said this this part right over here where it says cigarettes, he built that in 1990. So it was not originally part of the liquor store itself. It's always been a liquor store. It was designed for that. Family owned all these years since 1944. I think that is pretty cool. Now right over here on the side of this building, that is all a mural. You see those windows and everything? That's painted. That is not real windows. It was at one time, but it looks like they've been closed, boarded up or whatnot, but it looks like the side of a store, WFC on the side of the building. Very interesting. And right across the way there, we got Cash and Henderson Drug, which is a very old looking building, probably dates back in the really early 1900s also. So as I'm waiting for this light to change where I can actually go across this crosswalk, which is great timing because it just happened. Let's talk a little bit about the population of this town. Not a lot of people live here. Only 597 souls live here, and then the median age is 46.4. I gotta be really honest with you, I kind of feel like I'm being watched by cops. Maybe a police officer. He's kind of right there, you see him? You look right up there, there's a sign. It says Town of Chesnee Police. What a cute little door though. Look at this little door. He just painted that right there. That is so neat. You can kind of see the handle right there, the door handle, but I almost walked past this and just missed it altogether. So a few moments ago when we was down across the street there, I showed you that wall mural, and it was of like the side of a building. It had storefronts, these little awnings. It was actually a recreation, a painting, if you will, of this. And this has been a family-run business since 1951. I just spoke to the business owner. It's called Watson Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances. And they've been around, family-owned since 1951. The gentleman in there, the owner, his parents started it, and he's still going today. He's got his daughter in there running. So very much like the ABC store, the red dot store that we just seen a few minutes ago has been family-owned and been around for many, many years. Also, the Watson Furniture Flooring store is also family owned, and it's been around since about the same time period. I think the liquor store was 44 and this place is 1951. That is such a beautiful store and really nice to see. I gotta say, Chesnee, South Carolina is a really awesome looking town. It's very vibrant, a lot of traffic on these roads. Looks like there's not a lot of abandoned buildings that I've seen so far. I mean, most everything has some kind of store in it, which is really good. So next up, I want to talk to you a little bit about demographics of the town. So here in Chesnee, 75.04% of the people are white, 20.10% are black, and then 2.01% is mixed race, and 2.85% is other race. So now let's talk about income. Income per capita here in Chesnee, South Carolina is $17,542, which is below the $25,521 of South Carolina and the $29,829 of national. And then the median household income is $24,427, which, man, that is pretty low. That is well below the South Carolina's $46,898 and the national at $55,322. And then when we scroll down a little bit further, you get into the poverty rate. Poverty rate here in this town is kind of high, 27.8. That is definitely above, well above the 17.2 for South Carolina and the 15.1 for the US. Okay, so next up, we're going to take a look at the crime numbers, the crime rate as they call it, here for the town of Chesnee, South Carolina. Now you've seen the town up to this point. It looks very harmless, very nice, but look at these crime numbers. 8.1 per 1,000 total crime. 8.1 people will experience a crime out of 1,000. That is insanely high. I mean, just that is like numbers you would see somewhere like Oakland or Detroit, Michigan, like places like that. That is just insane how high that is. As you can see, it is way higher than South Carolina's 2.4 per 1,000, and it's well over the national average of 2.1 per 1,000. So yeah, that is some craziness. And just to put it into percentages for you, look at the total crime. You are 286% above the national average. Violent crimes are actually 10% below the national average, which is good. And then property crime is the big one. It is 346% above the national average here in Chesnee, South Carolina. I just cannot believe it. It does not match what I've seen today. Now I gotta say, this right here is a very interesting location. Twin Electronics, cell phone repair store. Look at this place. I wonder what it used to be. This is right on the main drag here in town. I wonder what that used to be. Look at that round, that curve. And then it's actually connected. I don't know if it's always been connected, but it was connected to this big brick front fascia of this store, which it has like 2 double doors right here, a couple windows or 3 windows, all boarded up. If anybody is from this area that's watching this video and you know what used to be right here at Twin Electronics, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what this used to be. It's a very fascinating design of a building or an office. It's almost like they used to do a business in there, and this might have been like an office where they took your payment and whatnot. But anyway, that is really, really cool. Okay, so now I'm starting to wrap up my vlog here in the downtown area, but I do want to drive out Alabama Avenue a little bit further because I want to see the restaurant that we've seen the mural about, Bantam Chef, and I want to show you an old cotton mill down there that's still standing. It's abandoned now, but it was a big part of this town and how it thrived in the early days that we talked about earlier in the video when we was talking about the history. So we're going to do that next, and then we're going to wrap our vlog up. It's been an awesome day today. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It means a lot. All right, and welcome to the Bantam Chef restaurant. This place is awesome looking. Look at this. Look at that big 76 sign on the side of the, right there at the drive-through window. Man, it just makes me feel like old school NASCAR when I see that big old rounded 76 sign. That is so cool. Yeah, this place here has a lot of character, if nothing else. These old gas pumps they have out here, how cool is that? Got a little bit of wall art down there, like some murals. It looks like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner right there on the side of that building. Yeah, this place is just a living, breathing roadside attraction that just so happens to serve up some good food. I'm not going to be eating today because I have other food options available for me right after I leave here that I'm going to take some people up on. Look at this big boy right here. How cool is that? That is awesome. Not a lot of big boys left around in the world. It's good to see some of them still standing strong with their big double cheeseburger. All right, so we're going to say so long to Bantam Chefs, and we're going to just walk it from this area. If you see that water tower off in the distance, that there is the old cotton mill. So we're going to go over there and look at the cotton mill from a distance. Obviously, it's going to be all fenced in and caged up, but we're going to go over there and look at that cotton mill before we wrap our vlog up. I just think that's the right thing to do. Okay, so I made my way down here to the old Chesnee cotton mill. And it was actually, this facility was built in 1910 as a textile mill for cotton spinning and related textile work. It was part of the town's early industrial development soon after Chesnee was chartered in 1911. So in 1945, the Chesnee cotton mill was sold to the Reeves brothers. As you can see right there on the side of the building, it reads Reeves. The Reeves brothers was a textile manufacturing company The mill then became locally known as Reeves Brothers Mill. Reeves Brothers was a textile firm based in Spartanburg County that operated multiple facilities producing textile, historically including cotton, later synthetic coating fabric products, and remained active in the region until the late 20th century. All right, my friends, that is going to pretty much do it for me today here in Chesnee, South Carolina. Beautiful little town, really awesome town. I love all the mom and pop shops here that are still moving and thriving through the years, family-owned businesses. And really was cool to come out here and check out this old Reeves Mill. This place looks epic. This is such a cool place to come and take pictures, you know? I mean, I know a lot of people like taking pictures of abandoned places and put filters on them and make them look a little bit spookier than maybe how they look with the naked eye, but this is a really good spot. So I had a great time today, really shocked by the high crime rate here. But I gotta put it like this. I never felt threatened here. I never felt unsafe walking around here. So all that being said, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Until next time, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again soon. So long to Chesnee, South Carolina. It was a lot of fun today.